Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about creating your circle of complement. Now in past videos you have heard intuitive feedback from myself as well as channeled information from Adronis talking about how you are bringing your life more so into a reality based on complement. Now this can be one of the most challenging things that we can go through because it's not so much about having a preference of the type of people that are coming into your reality. It's more so about understanding the depths of your own self to realize what that complement represents. When we look at the idea of creating your circle of complement, it sounds easy. It is something that you feel you can get a grasp on, no problem. I'm just going to go ahead and look deeply into myself and see if I can rearrange everything so that everything that happens within my life is going to be a complement. And this is where the greatest challenge happens because really, a lot of us really don't know ourselves. We feel that we work within systems, we feel that we have preconceived notions and preconceived ideas about what we're looking to attract through ourselves. But a lot of those particular themes that we look on based on a surface, there's always going to be a lot more that we don't realize. There's going to be certain systems that we look at, we try them out, and when we realize they become a lot more superficial. And because we're so used to functioning within a template-based reality, we feel that we cannot transcend those templates. I want to talk to very positive people. Okay, so if I go ahead and I attract a lot of positive people in my life, then I start to notice that there's these inadequate, trivial things about them that I feel is becoming a stockpile. It's growing too high. I feel that maybe they're too afloat. I feel that they live in the clouds a lot, and I don't feel that they come down to reality. Well, I just asked to attract positive people in my life, right? So if I'm going to attract positive people in my life to be a complement to myself, why am I complaining about that? Why am I complaining about attracting these positive people in my life and then all of a sudden noticing that there's these trivial inadequacies that I notice through so many people that I put so much energy on? It's because we're not being specific enough when we're looking into our circle of complement. If we really want to look into our circle of complement, it needs to come through detail. It needs to come through depth. Okay, you want to attract positive people into your life. What kind of positive people? I would like to attract positive people in my life who are very, very strong with conscious entrepreneurship. They're entrepreneurs. I want them to feel that they have a great focus and that there is a aspect of themselves that really look deeply into physical reality and they do feel very grounded. That's good. Now that's starting to show some depth, representing the people that you want to attract into your complement circle. Also, it's very, very important that when you're looking at these trivial aspects of an individual that you feel are inadequate, it's very, very important that you're reversing your thinking. It's very, very similar to an example that has been given to me. That when a person is painting a house and they spend days upon days just painting every little bit of this house, the owner comes back into the house and they look at the walls and they go, okay, all right. I'm gonna go check outside. They check outside and they see one smudge. And that little trivial thing that had been neglected is blown up. What did I hire you for? I told you to paint the entire house and here's this little smudge that you forgot to do. I thought you were a professional, etc., etc., etc. And so 99.9% of that house that was painted beautifully is ignored because there's that little trivial inadequacy that we notice, that little bitty smudge that causes this enormous blow up to where the person wants to get a partial refund, etc. And that's what becomes the explosive matter here in regards to a real trivial inadequacy. Rather than the painter coming back, oh, sorry about that, here, I'll clear that up for you. Oh, no, you were supposed to get it right the first time. And then again, we make this trivial notion something like almost like a World War III, a personal World War III between us and between that painter. It's now time to move past that state of immaturity because that really is what it is. It's about looking more so into the positive strengths, into what you know are the positive attributes. What are the strengths when you are attracting your complement into your circle? And this is how you're going to understand more of the depths, because what many of us do is that when we first look at a person, we start to notice how inadequate they are. We start to notice that maybe they're a little bit shy, or they chew with their mouth open when they're eating food, or they talk too much, or they don't talk enough, or they wear too much blue. But whatever it is, there's always going to be some feeling where we're in scan mode, and it's representing the idea of inadequate scan mode. Well, here's a new person who I think could be a good friend of mine. Oh, but I'm just going to scan him. Oh, look at all the inadequacies he has. Look at all the inadequacies she has. Don't think this is going to be a very good friendship, because I'm just seeing all these inadequacies that are very trivial, but they're still there. Here's a simple fact. Every single one of us have inadequacies. Every single one of us have imperfections. Every single one of us has imbalances. That is not a criteria to look for. If all you're ever going to do is see the inadequacies in another person, you're not thinking in the way of a circle of complement. You're thinking in the way of a circle of judgment. And so you're not in a circle of complement. And many people upon the world, much of them, many of them, are basically in this type of mindset. They feel that they stay within a circle of judgment. I'm meeting this new friend, he seems like a nice guy, oh, but all this other stuff. And it's always about the focus, about going to that smudge where you saw that on the house after the painter was finished. We concentrate so much on the smudge and not all the work that was done on the house that made it look so beautiful. We ignore that. I'm looking for problems. I'm looking for wrongness, and I'm going to make sure I find it. And oh my God, if something's wrong, is this person going to get it? And that is the circle of judgment. And a lot of us do this. I've done this in the past as well too. And even at sometimes, I still kind of walk in that circle a little bit. And so it's very, very important that when we're looking into the circle of complement, we're looking into the strengths of others, because now we're able to really look into what we have attracted, what we have asked the universe for. Well, this person is very positive. They're following a very spiritual path. They're kind-hearted. They got a wonderful smile. They have a really positive outlook on life. They feel great. You know, they travel a lot. I think that's fantastic. They have a very nice job. They take care of themselves very well. There's the strengths. You're not worried about their inadequacies, because again, you have inadequacies within yourself. And so looking into the circle of complement is being able to share yourself, see exactly your strengths, and how you're looking to duplicate those strengths in a different version of all other people that are coming into your reality. Let's not worry so much about going back into the circle of judgment, because that makes us feel that we're on a high horse. That makes us feel that we have some type of superiority, because we're able to look at these people in judgment mode and seeing all their inadequacies. But the whole idea is, as soon as you're staring at another person and seeing their inadequacies, you're bringing it right back to yourself, because you have attracted a person in regards to a state of inadequacy that's helping you to understand your own inadequacy. And one of those big inadequacies itself is judgment. So look into the circle of complement of how you're able to positively approach people and looking at strengths and being around people that are complementary to the points of strengths, not to the points of weaknesses where they feel that, you know, they're not able to keep up with you. Maybe they're not as good in shape as you are with exercise, or maybe they feel that they're not as literal or super intelligent with big words, whatever it may be. That's not important. The whole idea is that you're spending time with each other, you're enjoying each other's company, you're having this blissful experience between yourself and that other or others that are basically allowing themselves to be within your circle of complement. That's the whole idea. So your circle of complement again begins with you. You need to rewire yourself. You need to reprogram yourself to start looking at people relating to their strengths. There's a lot of people that just walk around the streets, the city streets, wherever they may be, and they see a lot of this suffering, and they see a lot of homeless people, and they may see people who are very, very gloomy in that point of life and saying that, I looked on the streets today and I saw all this disappointment, I saw all these people, always in a state of suffering. I think I've lost my hope in humanity. You're basically just saying you've lost hope in yourself, because that's what you've chosen to experience. That yes, that side of humanity certainly exists, but it's because you're looking at yourself in a way of a gloominess, of feeling that we're all doomed. Is humanity ever going to grow up? And so you're basically walking around like your crap don't stink, and that's basically the easiest way to put it, is because if you feel that you're always going to be walking around looking for disarray, looking for people who feel that they are suffering, looking at people who are mistreating others, if you're looking for that, you're going to easily find it. And that's, again, moving into a state of a circle of judgment, because you feel that that's all you're seeking, that's all you're magnetizing to yourself. And that certainly does exist. Absolutely. No doubt about that. But you got to remember the other side. There is just as much prosperity, there is just as much love, there is just as much strength, there is just as much courage, there is just as much accomplishment and joy in the world, more so than what we would understand as suffering. Because we feel we attract that, because everything in regards to modern civilization is giving us an indication of feeling, well, that's all life is. It's all about fear, it's all about poverty, it's all about destruction, it's all about environmental chaos. And that's it. So that's all you people have to attract. Follow the buzz in regards to what the media wants to show you. And that certainly does exist, yes. But there's so much more to Earth. There's so much more to people. I have used the example in the past that when one person trips and falls on the ground, there's at least a dozen other people wanting to reach their hand up and pick them up off their feet, dust them off and ask, "Are you all right?" Now, if we really were in a world of disarray, would we have at least a dozen people willing to hold out their hands, pick us up, dust us off, and make sure we're okay? I don't think so. So this is basically helping you to give an understanding that if you're going to look for disarray, you'll find it. But there's another part of you. How do you feel about the idea of disarray? How do you feel about people who feel that they're in despair and that they're impoverished? Is that something that is going to bring you a benefit into your life? Odds are it's not. So it's all about looking into the idea of that you can look at a person and you may see them suffering, but that's why you're there. You are the catalyst to bringing an opportunity of joy and tranquility in their life in that moment. That's the very opportunity that you see as you look at it in regards to following a circle of complement. Because you are being a version, an opportunistic version of helping that person out to realize that there is good in the world, to realize that there is something of complement to them. So you can exist in a circle of complement for others, just as much as anybody else can exist as a circle of complement to you. So look into the depth, look into the deepness of how everybody has their own strengths. Start rewiring your mind to come into the strength fold, to look into the abilities of the goodness and the truth and the wonder of everybody on this planet, because we all have it. And that is creating your circle of complement. When you are the complement to yourself, you can then start to radiate that complement to everybody else on the planet. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Brad Johnson. For more information in regards to this video or any other videos, please feel free to contact me, info@consciousmatrix.com. Feel free to check out the website. All kinds of great stuff there as well too. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Namaste. May you be the most blessed complement you can imagine yourself to be. Take care, and may it be well with you. Goodbye.